Hello everyone and welcome back inside UCCU Ballpark, home of the 2023 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament. It's the 5th seeded Mountain Ridge Sentinels set to take on the 13th seeded Bingham Miners. My name is CJ. We're so excited to be with you on the call. Let's take a look at how these two teams landed in this position. Mountain Ridge earned the 5th seed after a very strong regular season and thus earned a bye in the first round of the playoffs. They took on the winner of the Layton-Kearns game, which Layton, the 12th seed, defeated Kearns, and Mountain Ridge was ready for Layton. They blasted them 23-7 in the first game before going on to claim victory in the second, 13-3. As for the Miners, they they shaved off an upset against Farmington, beating the Phoenix 10-0 in the first game, then 8-7 in the second, and then against Copper Hills, they beat the Grizzlies, the 4th-seeded Grizzlies too, so an upset. They beat them 5-3 in back-to-back games. Bingham did to claim this opportunity to take on the Sentinels and advance in bracket play. Let's give you the starting lineups now while we have an opportunity to. First for Mountain Ridge in the field, it's going to be Easton Gunn at the catcher spot, Henry at third, Nelson at second, Braxton Miller at short, Stockton Folks at third, Austin Goodrich in left field, Jackson Reiser in right field, and Taj Henry, as I mentioned, in right field. Then it'll be Dylan Singleton getting the start on the mound for the Sentinels. He's set to face off against the Bats of Bingham. Leading off is going to be Dylan Frank, followed by Jake Wallen, and Maddox Peck will bat third. Batting cleanup is going to be Cam Beck. Abraham at Tacone is going to bat fifth. Talon Van Stickle will bat sixth, followed by Bridger Slade, Blake Schaefer, and Boston Snyder. Rounds out the order for the Miners, who are once again upset hungry as they're ready to face off against the 5th seed in our 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament. So we're just about set to get the first pitch of the day underway. This game was heavily delayed due to our first game between the top-seeded Skyridge Falcons and then the top-seeded Skyridge Falcons and then the 8th-seeded Pleasant Grove Vikings. In that one, it took 8 innings to decide the victor, but in the end, Skyridge, on a walk-off single into right field, scored and won the game 1-0. 1-1 the count here early. Frank, the left fielder, facing off against Singleton. Bingham comes into this one 14-13 on the season, while the Sentinels come into it 18-7. Frank takes a hack, falls to 1-2 in the count. We're coming off a fantastic pitching duel in which the pitchers for Pleasant Grove Vikings and the Skyridge Falcons combined for over 20 strikeouts. Count will be evened at 2 apiece on the low delivery there. And as I mentioned, just 1 run scored in that earlier game, and we didn't even have it scored until extra innings. Frank goes down swinging. So our second game starts just as our first did, with a strikeout. And I'll bring up the third baseman, Jake Wallen. For Mountain Ridge, they finished second in Region 3 play, only trailing Riverton. The Sentinels 11-4 in Region play and 18-7 overall in the season. As for Bingham, they finished Region play 6-9 and 14-13 overall in the season. The Sentinels scored 227 runs, the most of any Region 3 team, only allowing 120. As for the Miners, they scored 161 runs but allowed 159. High delivery that time. 2-0 the count. Wallen resets. Three straight balls delivered now by Singleton. Going to find the zone on the deliver here or risk the walk. It just catches the inside of the zone, so count goes to 3-1. It's fouled back by Wallen, so just like that, the count goes to full. Singleton looking for back-to-back strikeouts to begin the day for the Sentinels defense. And he's done it. Fights back. After going 3-0 in the count, 3 straight strike deliveries. Wallen goes down swinging. Bring up Maddox Peck, the center fielder for Bingham. Last time these teams faced off against each other was back on April 18th, 19th, and the 21st. The Miners took the first game 5-2, with Mountain Ridge responding with an 11-1 victory in the second game, being played a day after on Wednesday. And then when the two teams met again on Friday at Mountain Ridge, Sentinels claimed it 6-5 over Bingham. An interesting twist in that series was the road team ended up taking 2 of the 3 games overall, with Bingham taking the first one at Mountain Ridge, and the Sentinels taking the second game at Bingham, and then Mountain Ridge finally claiming the final game at home to claim the series. Peck takes a hack, gets nothing. Currently 0-2 in the count with 2 outs. Back on deck, the first baseman if they can reach him. Peck was also a prolific receiver for the Bingham Miners. Fouls one off into the net. Mountain Ridge has scored 13 and 23 runs in their 2 tournament games so far, and they're at the bats coming up next because Maddox Peck was just the 3rd strikeout of the day for Dylan Singleton, and we've only played the top of the first so far. Bottom of the first on deck. We'll see if the Sentinels' success defensively translates to offense on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Bingham couldn't find the offensive success they were hoping for in our bottom of the first, but they'll look to get some momentum going in the bottom of the first on the defensive end. For the Miners defensively, it'll be Boston Snyder at catcher, Cam Beck at first, Tyler Van Sickle at second, Wallen at third, Cinto at short, Dylan Frank in left field, Max Peck in center field, and Blake Schaefer in right field. Bridger Slade getting the start on the mound for the Miners. As for the Mountain Ridge Sentinels, Austin Goodrich will lead off. Stockton Folks will bat second with Jackson Reiser, the center fielder, batting third. Easton Gunn batting cleanup. Luke Nelson will bat in the 5th spot. Remington Edwards will bat 6th with Austin Ellis batting 7th. Dylan Singleton batting 8th. And Taj Henry will bat 9th. As we mentioned, it'll be Goodrich due up first. Joey Soto, of course, one of the most accomplished coaches leading the Miners. 31 years, over 430 career wins, 195 losses. It's an incredible resume for Coach Soto. As for Mountain Ridge, Brock Whitney leads the charge for the Sentinels. In 4 years, has amassed 45 wins and 37 career losses. Taking a hack and getting nothing was Goodrich. Count at 1-1. Winner 2-1 on the outside delivery. The winner of this game will go on to face the top seed in our 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament, the Skyridge Falcons, while the loser will take on Pleasant Grove. The loser's game bracket will be played at 1:30 tomorrow, and the loser in that one will be eliminated from our tournament, while the winner will go on to face the winner of that Skyridge game that we discussed. And Goodrich able to walk to first, rewarded for his watch fly. So a base runner on for the Sentinels. As I mentioned, this is an offense that has remained red hot. Stockton Folks now due up, the third baseman, looking to keep the offensive momentum going, generated by the walk and a base runner on. Pleasant Grove in our previous game had 2 runners reach base in the first inning, and both ended up in scoring position, but they were retired and ended up being the best opportunity either team had in a long time. Mentioned the offensive success that Mountain Ridge has had so far this season. Their season got off to a little bit of a bumpy start when they lost to Jordan 11-10, but they quickly righted the ship with a win against Mountain Crest. Also dismantled Central Catholic, who they went up to Oregon to play. Fell to an opponent in Castle, Arizona. They took care of business in Colorado, and then going back out to California and hosting a team from California as well. Then they were able to defeat Bountiful 13-9. Lost in a narrow bout to Viewmont. And then when Region 3 started, is where they found that success once again, going 18-7 in those region games. 3-0 the count currently. So Bridger Slade struggling here early, trying to get back on track. In danger of walking his second consecutive batter as he's struggling with control at the moment. Slade set to deliver the pitch. And able to find the zone there. Slade 0-1 over the record on the season. He's a prolific hitter for this team too. 18 runs brought in those 27 games he's appeared in. Miners sitting just over 500 right now at 14-13. And back-to-back walks surrendered by Slade. Not the start he or the Miners were hoping for here early. Jackson Reiser now due up. Reiser was the quarterback for Mountain Ridge during football season. Now looking to capitalize on this early momentum. So the Sentinels just red hot right now. Looking to break this game open early. They could be off to a much different start than the previous one we saw for the Skyridge Falcons, the other previous home team. Reiser awaits the delivery. 2 runners on base. No outs in the inning. That low ball squeezes past, and both Sentinels base runners will advance. So Goodrich to third and Folks to second. Bingham already has pitchers warming up in their bullpen. Slade looking to reset and get back on track here. Slade on the season, the 2023 left-hander, 6'2", 195 pounds. Curveball comes inside for strike number 1. Reiser. That's another ball pass, so 2-1 the count. That one hit Reiser in the foot, so he's heading to first. So 3 base runners on for Mountain Ridge. Great start for the Sentinels, and it's come without even getting hit. Easton Gunn now due up. Gunn in great position to drive in some runs. Still no outs in the inning. Slade trying to find his way here early. Gunn blasts one into right field. It's a high flyer, and it's easily collected by the Miners. They're going to try to tag up, and they'll do so successfully. So the sacrifice fly brings in a run. So Gunn's sacrifice fly ball into right field makes it a 1-0 advantage here early.
The second baseman, number 1, Luke Nelson.
In the ensuing chaos, Goodrich came home. Folks went to third. Reiser stayed situated on first. Gonna bring up Luke Nelson. And for Gunn, that was his 14th run driven in on the season. Outside delivery from Slade there. 1 out now, but 2-0 the count. Nelson in good position to add to his runs brought in total on the season. He's got 25 overall. Pickle opportunity, but sliding in safely at second is Reiser. Deciding to hold on to that ball was Beck, not trying to throw it over, and because of the ensuing chaos, there was also a run that was able to score. Wow. So what a start for Mountain Ridge. 2-0 the advantage here early. So now just one runner on base. Ball's chopped into foul territory. So 2-1 the count. 2-0 the early advantage. Slade looking to get on track with this delivery. Reiser takes off. He's going for third, and Reiser slides down. And they actually sent Reiser home, but he's going to have to retreat, and Reiser able to dive safely back. Originally, the third base coach for the Sentinels wanted to send Reiser, but it was a good job by Reiser. Once he sent him, he kind of realized he needed to turn him back, as it was a good job by the shortstop in Adesino coming over behind third base to cover up. Coach Soto making his way up to the mound right now, and looks like he's sending something over, so looks like it is going to be the end of the day, at least here early. For Slade. So Bridger Slade didn't get off to the start that Bingham was hoping for. 2-0 the hole here early. And Slade heads in, so we'll tell you about who the new miner on the mound is when we come back on KSL Sports Rewind. Bridger Slade's day, at least on the mound, is over. Austin Wheeler now in, still just one out after Nelson was afforded the walk. Remington Edwards now due up. Riser over on third. Already had Gunn sacrifice his fly into right field, bringing Goodrich. And then Folks, in the ensuing chaos of Riser trying to steal, was able to come home. Bingham trying to sort out their situation on the mound here. Already surrendered 2 runs early. Said this is about how hot your bats are coming to this tournament. And as for the Sentinels, they are very hot here early. Those 23 runs they scored in that previous game are by far the most we've seen in any game so far in the 2023 6A state baseball tournaments. 1-2 the count. Wheeler looking for the first K of the day for the Miners. And he's found it as Edwards goes down swing. 2 outs now. And they'll bring up Austin Ellis, the designated hitter.
The designated hitter, number 55, Austin Ellis.
Ellis on the season, 25 runs brought in. Tied for the most by anyone on the Miners with Nelson. And we're on third and Riser. And first in Nelson. Ellis looking to keep the scoring alive. It's been a productive bottom of the first for Mountain Ridge. They're not ready to end it yet. 1-1 the count off the delivery from Wheeler. Wheeler, the junior, left-hander, 6 foot, 165. Inside delivery there, nearly collided with the foot of Ellis, but he dodges it. It's back ahead in the count, 2-1. That delivery just off the mark for ball 3. Ellis looking to bring in some more runs or load the bases up on this delivery. Instead, a pickoff attempt over to first, unsuccessful. So 3-1 the count. Ellis goes to full count now after missing on that one. Miners looking to get out of the inning and limit the damage to just 2 runs. The Sentinels looking to keep it going and load the bases up. Ellis able to walk to first, and he's fired up about it. It is the 5th batter now who's been able to reach base via either a walk or being hit by a pitch. And we're all the way down to Dylan Singleton, who got the Sentinels' day started on the mound in the previous inning. Now set to face off against Wheeler. Singleton with bases loaded, but 2 outs, so he's got to be careful. Fouls this one back. Singleton's brought in just 4 runs overall in the season. Wheeler as Singleton grounds it, but it's fielded cleanly. Nice play is made by the Miners, and they will leave 3 Sentinels stranded on base. As Van Sickle was able to get that one over to Beck on first, and thus end the damage at just 2 runs scored. We'll see if Bingham can get back into this one. Top of the second coming up next.
At Completing the play, it's Mountain Ridge 2.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
The Bingham Miners looking to get back on track here after surrendering 2 runs in the bottom of the first. It was 3 up, 3 down. All were retired via strikeouts of Dylan Singleton. He's now due up to face Beck, Antecino, and Talon Van Sickle. Beck. Now's the high delivery to pass. This is a Bingham team on the season, 14-13, as we discussed. Got off to a strong start, rattling off wins against Spanish Fork, Lone Peak, and Taylorsville, but then fell to Lehigh, traveled down to Alabama, where they suffered a 3-0 loss. They were able to get a win. Their following game in Alabama, though, as this one's lifted in the left field, going back on it, and eventually collected. So Jackson Reiser, the center fielder, able to make the grab. Beck was probably the best contact off the bat we've heard today, but it wasn't enough as he flies out to center field. Abraham Atencio now due up. Going back to the minors season. They also suffer a loss to Beluga in Beluga, Washington, 2-0. But then when region play came around, it was a good battle back and forth. 6-9, but they were in a lot of games. One of those teams that was able to turn around their luck, and as we mentioned, were able to get the win against Copper Hills. That was the Copper Hills team too, who in the regular season claimed all 3 games against the Miners in the regular season. 1-1 the count. Atencio now falls to 1-2 after the swing and miss there. This one ripped into foul territory in right field. Appreciate all of you for joining us on KSL Sports Rewind here at UCCU Ballpark, normally home to the Wolverines, but this week home to the 6A State Baseball Championship Tournament. If you guys are wondering where the 5A one is being played at, it's down at BYU. You guys can head over and listen to Dusty Litster. He's got you covered over there. Fielded cleanly on third base by Stockton. He gets it over to first in time. And Henry gets the Sentinels their second out of the inning.
Playing second base, number 10, Talon Van Sickle.
Van Sickle now due up. In the previous inning, it was all strikeouts. This go around, each of the previous 2 Miners batters has put the ball in play, but hasn't been able to get a hit. Van Sickle shows bunt, but then pulls back for ball 1. Count now at 2-0. Count now 2-1 off the strike delivery there. And Singleton locked in, back-to-back strikes. He's one pitch away from getting them out of the inning. Instead, we'll have full count coming up. Van Sickle slaps one into foul territory. Full count delivery, we'll do it again. Singleton looking for another K. Instead, it'll be a base hit right up the guts. Goes right over the pitcher's mound on the well-hit ground ball and reaches center field where Reiser makes the throw in to limit it to just a single, but the first base hit of the day for the Miners comes courtesy of Talon Van Sickle. Now to bring up Bridger Slade. No doubt eager to get up to the bats after struggling on the mound early.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 28, Bridger Slade.
Slade. Opportunity for the steal. Wasn't successful. It was not. What a throw made from Easton Gunn behind home plate. Gunn showing off the cannon he's got for an arm as he retires the stealing Talon Van Sickle. Hooking up with Miller on second. That'll do it for the top of the second. Mountain Ridge looking to extend their lead when we return to UCCU Ballpark.
Okay. Okay.
Yung kapalawa dan su akit sa kapag sito na di alawa kung ginodala.
The first baseman, number 24.
Mountain Ridge looking to pick up a productive where they left off in the bottom of the first after what was a very productive start. And get the bats hot once again in the bottom of the second. Raj Henry now due up. His first time batting today. He's the last batter of the order, and then we'll turn it back over for the Sentinels. Austin Wheeler still situated on the mound for the Miners. No one warming up in either bullpen at the moment. Ball's lifted into foul territory on the slow roll. Wheeler. Delivers the ball low for ball number 2. 2-1 the count. I'm sure Miners pleased with the 2-0 start, but also probably kicking themselves a little bit because it could have been much more since they did leave 3 runners stranded on base. Henry hits one on a line drive into left field. And it's a base hit once again for Mountain Ridge. So that'll do it for the first go-around in the order. And strangely enough, that was actually their first hit they've had. So much of their offensive success was because of issues by the Miners pitching, because they had the 4 walks, they were hit by the pitcher once too, and then the sacrifice fly allowed them to come home. So Henry on first, and Goodrich back up again.
Left over, number 11, Austin Goodrich.
Goodrich in the second go-around at the bats on the season. He's driven in 10 runs, 8 doubles, 1 triple, and a home run. Goodrich has to duck to avoid that one. Count now at 2-1. At this point in the season, pitching so important, and Bingham trying to find theirs here early. This one launched in the left field. It'll take a bounce before it reaches the wall. 2 Miners give chase. It's going to be at least a double, and it's going to bring a run home for the Sentinels. Henry comes in. Goodrich with the RBI double after lifting one in the left field. It's a 3-0 advantage for Mountain Ridge. So make it 11 runs brought in on the season now for Goodrich. And 9 in the doubles department. Stockton Folks now due up. On the season, he's brought in 14 runs, has 5 doubles in 25 games played. Goodrich has brought in a run. Folks looking to bring him in. Back-to-back hits for Mountain Ridge. Still no outs in the inning. 1-0 the count. Folks walked in his previous plate appearance. We saw that worked out for Goodrich. See the speedy Goodrich. Thought about trying to turn it into a triple, but decided to wisely hold up at second. Fake pickoff attempt by Wheeler. Wheeler on the season, 2-1 the record. The count now. Myers looking for some consistency on the mound. Boston Snyder comes up to talk things over on the mound with his pitcher. The count. Can't imagine Folks will swing at it unless it's a perfect pitch. Okay, let's strike one through. Three 3-1 the count. Just like that, full counts. Folks takes a hack and gets nothing. Wheeler looking for his first K of the day. It's fouled off by Folks to remain alive in the count. Snyder, the sophomore catcher, went over and had that meeting on the mound, and ever since, Wheeler's been a little more walked into the zone, it seems, so whatever they strategize, it's worked. Can they get the out? Instead, this one's lifted into left field, but directly to the Miners left fielder in Dylan Frank. First out of the inning. Goodrich forced to stay settled at second. Jackson Reiser now due up. Last time we saw him was hit by a pitch. Reiser thought about swinging, pulled back just in time. Reiser takes a swing and gets nothing. attempt, unsuccessful the second. In fact, they won't even throw. Reiser on the season, 23 runs brought in, 5 doubles. Lifts this one in the left field. And they're going to send Goodrich home, and Goodrich able to make it there, and it turns into a double for Reiser. So Jackson Reiser keeps the bats hot for the Miners, drives in their second run of the inning, 4-0. They lead it. To see some bodies actively warming up for Bingham now in their bullpen. So they're looking to find the solution here early.
The catcher, number 12, Easton Gunn.
Easton Gunn, the catcher, now due up. Mountain Ridge is in his position because of Gunn with that sensational put out he had behind home plate, hooking up a second. Base hit fielded cleanly over to first, so Gunn retired just as quickly as he walked up. But it does allow Reiser to advance over to third, so an opportunity to take a 5-0 lead. Nelson now due up, who walked in his previous plate appearance. Nelson on the season, 25 runs brought in. Great opportunity to add to that total here. That's tied for the team lead, as we discussed earlier, with Ellis. Fouls the first back into the net. Nelson, 6 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. Low delivery nearly squeezes away from Snyder, but he's able to get under it just in time. Reiser thought about it, but wisely turned back. This could be the second straight inning where Reiser is stranded on third. Mountain Ridge trying to prevent that from happening. Low delivery, but diving back safely was Reiser. Two 2-1 the count. Won the differential. This one lifted into right field, called for, and collected by Bingham. Blake Chafin gets the Miners out of it, but not before they give up another 2 runs. 4-0 the advantage as we shift into the third on KSL Sports Rewind.
He scored 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 errors and 1 runner left.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Bridger Slade looking to jumpstart the hitting for the Bingham Miners. Slade was up in the previous inning, but was unable to finish that bat when Van Sickle was caught trying to steal second. Slade, Schaefer and Boston Snyder all due up in this one. As a reminder, the winner of this will be in action at 7 o'clock tomorrow when they take on the top-seeded Skyridge Falcons. The loser will go on to take on a Pleasant Grove team that had an incredible defensive stand with 3 straight balls delivered. So Slade, the pitcher who started the day for the Miners, is able to walk to first. We also have some other games on deck for you today. With Westlake taking on American Fork at 4:30, the Thunder completed the upset against Cypress in incredible fashion, and thus earned the right to take on the Cavemen, who are fresh off knocking off Corner Canyon. That's now 5 straight balls deliveries from Singleton, who's looking to get back on track in a moment. Our nightcap tonight will be Riverton taking on Syracuse. That'll be at 7 o'clock. Riverton, the 6th seed. Syracuse, the 14th seed. Saw the upset against Fremont. So the Falcons were the only top 4 seeded teams. We also saw Copper Hills go out. So the only team in the top 4 to advance into bracket play. Reminder for the championship games, we'll have those on deck for you May 26th and the 27th. Singleton out of sorts right now, and because of it, it allows Slade to make it to second. He's now delivered 7 straight balls, trying to avoid making it 8 and allowing Schaefer an easy path over to first. Able to find the zone once again. Schaefer resets, still comfortably ahead in the count. And that's back-to-back walks for Singleton. They'll bring up Boston Snyder, the catcher. See the Sentinels decide to take a meeting on the mound while they talk things over. Still no one warming up for them currently. There are some bodies occupying the bullpen for the Miners, so we'll see if they decide to roll their 3rd pitcher of the day. But at the moment, as it pertains to Mountain Ridge, the game firmly still in Singleton's hands. Singleton on the season, as we discussed, that 1-3 record overall. It's a Mountain Ridge team that is 18-7 on the season. Looking to advance to take on the Falcons. It would be their first matchup with the Falcons so far this season. The winner of tomorrow's winner's bracket game will go on to play in 7 o'clock once again and await the loser from the loser side of the bracket to emerge. And if they were able to win that game, then there would be no need for our games on Thursday, the 25th. Still no outs in the inning. Miners looking to make something happen here with 2 runners on base now. The back of the bats order has bad success. Dylan Frank is on deck. Snyder resets. Lifts one into right field, but barely having to move to even be able to get it is the right fielder, and Taj Henry. Not even an opportunity for the Miners to tag up either. So with 1 out, still just 2 Miners on base, and they're both on first and second.
Hey, Grandma gets us out. Here we go.
So Dylan Frank now due up. Last time I saw Frank, him, Whalen, and Peck, Wallen and Peck, were a part of a string of 3 consecutive strikeouts to start the day for Dylan Singleton. Hasn't had the same amount of success today, but now got 1 out in the inning. Frank on the season, 7 runs brought in, 7 doubles, one triple. Fouls one back over us here in the box at Utah Valley University's UCCU ballpark. Strike number 2 comes through. So Singleton looks back, dialed in now. Heading the count 2-0. Looking for his first strikeout since the top of the first. And they get it against Frank. That one squeezes away. Opportunity down at third and able to make the play is Mountain Ridge. So just like that, 2 outs now. That one squeezed away from Gunn, but not enough, as he was able to come over and get it over to Stockton Folks in time, and Folks was able to place his glove down right in front of the diving Slade, who was retired. And the count's still at 0-2, so could have back-to-back plays with outs coming up momentarily. In the ensuing chaos, though, as that one's fouled off, it did allow Schaefer to make it over to second. So Miners still with an opportunity to do some damage here, but now with 2 outs. So both Sickle and Slade were able to reach base for the Miners, but both were caught stealing here early, as another is launched into foul territory. One, 2, the count. Frank goes down swinging for the second time today. Singleton struggled early, giving up back-to-back walks, but locked in when his team needed him most, and the Miners leave a runner stranded on base. What started out as an inning with hope ended with no runs being scored for the 3rd straight inning. We'll see if Mountain Ridge can score at least 2 runs for the 3rd straight inning when we return on KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Sentinels continue to look sharp early. It'll be Remington Edwards, Austin Ellis, and Dylan Singleton looking to keep the scoring going. Chopper ends up in foul territory. The first time we saw Edwards, he struck out. He was the only batter in the order to strike out so far today for the Sentinels. Count moves to 1-1 on the ball delivery. Edwards on the season, 21 runs brought in, 5 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs. 2-1 the count. Edwards crushes one in the right field. It'll take a bounce before it reaches the fence, and it gets stuck up top. So ground rule double. Remington Edwards gets the bottom of the 3rd off to a hot start for the Sentinels. So the big hit from Edwards. That will be now his 6th double on the season, with Austin Ellis now due up. Ellis has 25 RBIs, an impressive number. Also got 10 doubles and a home run. Austin Wheeler still on the mound Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. As Edwards able to make it safely back to the base pad on second. Ellis takes a big hack and gets nothing. Ellis lets strike 2 through. He's behind in the count, 0-2 now. Walked the last time we saw him, the designated hitter for Mountain Ridge, looking to get his first big hit of the day, and no doubt eager to protect home plate here. He crushes one, back into center field. The diving grab unable to be made. Foot race over to third. Ellis looking to slide in safely to second, and he will. Back-to-back doubles for the Sentinels. Ellis absolutely crushed that one. 2 just monster hits in a row. Could see a pitching change for the Miners, as it looks like they were talking a few things over. At the moment, it'll be the other pitcher, Dylan Singleton, now due up. Edwards had to wait to tag up, so he was only able to turn it into it, only able to advance one base. If it had been a little farther, it might have been an opportunity for him to score. Another one might land in the sweet spot in left field, and it will, and it'll bring in another Sentinels run, 5-0. The differential. The bats are red hot for Mountain Ridge. And we are going to have, more than likely, as a pitching change, as we see Coach Soto making his way out now. Wheeler struggled a little bit now. Mountain Ridge up to 6 hits. So 5-run score on 6 hits overall, and that's going to do it for Austin Wheeler. We'll take a break, and when we return, there will be a new pitcher on the mound for the Bingham Miners. Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 20, all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Staley. Now batting, playing first base.
Ian Staley now on the mound for the Miners, trailing 5-0 currently, and still no outs in the bottom of the third. Ellis over on third at the moment. Reaching in and getting nothing is Henry. It was ironically the pitcher, Dylan Singleton, who ended up ending Austin Wheeler's day. Started with Bridger Slade and then Austin Wheeler. Wheeler ended up nearly going 2 innings with completely the first one, but wasn't able to get any outs as he struggled in this one. Henry swings and gets nothing. He's 0-2 in the count now. Still no outs in the inning and 2 runners on. Singleton residing on first with Goodrich due up. Staley gets a K with 3 straight strike deliveries in his first stint on the mound today. Second strikeout we've seen from a Miners pitcher. Ian Staley, the junior right-hander, 6'2", 145. Looking to limit the scoring to just 1 with 1 out now. Pick-off attempt over to first, unsuccessful. Be interesting to see if the Sentinels try to score, or send Singleton in order to score Ellis. It worked for them earlier. (1-0) the count. Goodrich in his previous plate appearance had a walk, and then after that drove in a run after booming one into left field. Currently 1-1 in the count. Staley has been able to stabilize the Miners pitching, at least for now. Pickoff attempt to first, unsuccessful. Goodrich has had a couple gargantuan hits on the season. Mentioned those 10 runs brought in. Fouls this one back in that to go 1-2 in the count now. Opportunity for the pickoff attempt will be unsuccessful at second, and the ball squeezed away for a moment, but quickly recovered, so forces Ellis to stay held up. And Goodrich is retired. So second consecutive strikeout by the junior, Ian Staley. Stockton Folks now due up. Folks walked in his first plate appearance and then flew out in the left field the last time we saw him. Sentinels trying not to leave 2 runners stranded on base. Currently hold a 5-0 advantage. If they were able to score 5 more runs, and whether that be here or in the bottom of the 4th, they would not need to bat in the bottom of the 5th. And it would be our mercy rule if their defense was able to hold on. Staley has been sharp early. 1-0 the count currently. 2 outs. Runners on third and second. Now back-to-back ball deliveries. Folks gashes one into center field, giving chase, and unable to make it there is Peck. And that's going to not just bring in 1, it'll bring in 2 runs for the Miners, and it's going to have to be a sliding but successful triple for Folks. Wow! 7-0 advantage, Sentinels.
Center fielder, number 3,
Jackson Reiser due up after following the Folks triple, where she brought in 2 runs. What a time, too, with 2 outs in the inning. They got some booming shots here, as mentioned earlier. Far cry from our previous game. This one launched into left field. Oh, it's gone. Wow! What a booming 2-run shot. Jackson Reiser absolutely ripped it. 9-0 the differential here. Our first home run of bracket play is a huge hit by Jackson Reiser. Staley was so strong for so long, and then the back-to-back big-time hits by Foltz and Reiser have now given up 4 runs in just a stretch of 5 pitches. Staley trying to stay on the mound. Looks like at the moment they are going to continue to roll with him. Still 2 outs in the inning. Easton Gunn on deck. So 9-0 the differential here now. Base is cleared. What a performance we're seeing. And as I discussed earlier now, Mountain Ridge in a position where they just need to score 1 more run at some point, whether it's in the bottom of the 5th or before then. And then if they hold on defensively, they would invoke our 10-run mercy rule after 5. But what a stretch we just saw, whether it was Folks, who absolutely crushed one in the center field, and then Reiser, who just absolutely destroyed that ball in the left field. Sometimes you know when it comes off the bat, it's gone, and that was one of those case scenarios. This shot sent into center field, but quickly collected by Max Peck. So the Miners finally get out of the inning, but now before they gave up 5 runs in total, 9-0 the differential. We're entering the 4th on KSL Sports Rewind. It's been all Sentinels here early. Bingham trailing Mountain Ridge by 9. Currently looking to get some momentum on the offensive end is Jake Wallen. Maddox Peck will be on deck, and Cam Beck is in the hole. Won the count. So Mountain Ridge now 3 straight innings in which they've scored at least 2 runs, and then of course the bottom of the 3rd is when things really opened up. They drove in 4 runs and less than 5 hits off a couple booming shot. This one sails straight up in the air. Called for. And then just a total miscommunication as everyone was kind of pointing everyone else. And because of that, it allows Wallen to make it safely to first. That'll bring up Maddox Peck. Peck, the last time we saw him, he struck out. One runner on now. Just the second base hit of the day for Bingham. Now goes to 2-1. We saw Singleton struggle a little bit earlier. But then round into form with some robust pitching. Dead center delivery by Singleton there. Back on the season, 23 runs brought in. He smashes one into right field. And it's collected by the right fielder who drifted into more right kind of center field in Taj Henry. First out of the inning. Wind's picked up a little bit now. Much stronger than our first few games. Still just one runner on base. Cam Beck now due up. After Peck flew out to right field. Beck blasts one of his own into left field, going back, and it's gone. Miners able to find some momentum with a monster hit from Cam Beck. The 2-run shot brings them within 7. So Beck brings in Wallen. A couple of costly mistakes for the Sentinels. It should have only been a 1-run homer, but because they couldn't field that fly ball cleanly, it allowed for Beck to bring in not just himself, but Wallen as well. So still just 1 out in the inning now. The Miners officially on the board. That'll bring up Atacino. Last time we saw him, grounded out to third. On the seasons, Knight brought in 19 runs, 4 doubles, and as a triple in 27 games overall. Thought about swinging on that one, but wisely checked his swing. They will say he went. He disagrees with the call. As he re-steps and steps back into the batter's box. Count will stay at 0-2 after he fouls that one into the net. We had no home runs in our previous game. We've already had 2 here early. That one's unplayable in foul territory. Atencio. Thought about swinging, but checked it back. He tried to say that he went that time, but he did not, so 1-2 the count. Singleton. Delivers a ball that's chopped, fielded cleanly. Long throw over to first, makes it in time off the dirt. Stockton Folks showing off the cannon, fires that one low, and off the bounce, it's fielded cleanly by Henry.
The second baseman, number 10, Talon Van Sickle.
So 2 outs now in the inning. Now bring up Talon Van Sickle, who was the first base hit of the day, surrendered by Singleton. He was then retired, caught trying to steal second. Sickle on the season, 5 runs brought in, 2 doubles. Count at 1-1 currently. Singleton reached on it. Excuse me, Sickle reached on it. Singleton delivers a strike. Now just 1 pitch away. Started the game with 3 straight strikeouts. He's got 4 overall. Count now at 2-2. Looking for number 5 momentarily. Singleton is starting to make his way off the mound. Thought he had strike 3. Instead, he's got full count. Sickle looking to keep things alive. And he will as he launches a line drive in the left field. He'll be forced to hold up at first. And a nice hit by Sickle, who's got 2 base hits already on the day. Rises up in full count. Gonna bring up Bridger Slade, the designated hitter now. Walked in his first plate appearance. Also got some run early on the mound. Slade on the season, 18 runs brought in. 5 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run in 27 games. The balk is called on Singleton. He's in disbelief. You hear umpires yelling for it. Miners looking to mount a little 2-out rally here, ahead in the count, currently 2-0. Slade awaiting the delivery from Singleton. First strike delivery of the at-bat. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful. They won't even attempt the throw. Two on the count. Another strike delivery. Slade disagrees with the call, but the count 2-2 nonetheless. Singleton. The outside delivery. Ball 3. Full count once again. Last one led to the big hit by Talon Van Sickle. We'll see if Slade can launch one here. Singleton looking for his 5th strikeout and to get his team out of the inning. We'll see if he can do it on the next pitch, as that one was fouled off. Slade resets. He's walking over to first. Singleton once again thought he had it. He started to walk off the mound. So 2 runners on base, 2 outs, already 2 runs given up by Singleton. Gunn and Singleton talking things over on the mound. So after the walk, Schaefer now due up. Schaefer on the season's brought in 5 runs. That's 1 double. Miners looking to mount some momentum here. And they're hoping it'll turn to some defense too, as they've yet to hold the Sentinels scoreless. Swing and a miss from Schaefer. He's 0-2 in the count. Van Sickle at second, Slade at first. Swinging and missing is Schaefer, the 5th strikeout of the day. gets the Sentinels out of the inning courtesy of Dylan Singleton, but not before they gave up 2 runs off that 2-run shot from Cam Beck. 9-2 the differential. Mountain Ridge on the offensive when we come back at UCCU Ballpark.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Bottom of the 4th set to get underway, and the Miners are on to their 4th pitcher. That's Bridger Slade, then Austin Wheeler, then Ian Staley, but now it will be Delton Kramer tasked with getting them out of this one. He's up to face Luke Nelson, Remington Edwards, and Austin Ellis. Delton Kramer on the season. The sophomore right-hander, 5'10", 140. A little bit of offensive momentum at the top of the 4th. Those 2 runs scored by Bingham. Got a lot of work to do still to get back into this one, but it's an opportunity on the defensive end. What's at stake here for Mountain Ridge is if they were able to score 3 runs and then hold Bingham scoreless in the top of the 5th, they would not need to back that again and enact our mercy rule in effect. Nelson takes ball 4 and heads to first. He was nearly hit by it as well, but either way. He's heading to first for the walk. The second time today he's walked. The last time we saw him, flew out to right field and left 1 on base for the Sentinels. Now it's Remington Edwards. Edwards rocketed 1 into center field that took a bounce before getting stuck in the fence for the ground rule double. Edwards makes it 0-1 in the count. This one's crushed into right field, high in the air, called for, and collected by Blake Schaefer. So Edwards flies out into right field for the first out of the inning. Now I'll bring up Austin Ellis. Last time we saw Ellis, he absolutely launched 1 in the left field.
Designated hitter, number 55, Austin Ellis.
Before that was able to walk. Ellis fouls the first pitch off. Basically, at any point after this inning, if the lead is by 10 or more runs at any point, then Mountain Ridge would claim victory. Ellis wants to make a big play. You can feel it there. He took a huge hack, got nothing. 2 outs now in the inning. 1 runner on first and 1 out. Ellis goes down swinging. Kramer with the K. And I'll bring up fellow pitcher Dylan Singleton. The last time we saw him, launched a ball into shallow right field to bring in a run. Sentinels in danger of leaving this one without any runs scored for the first time today. He's trying to mount their 2-out rally here. One-0 the count. Singleton takes a hack. Count will go to 1-1 to pick off attempt down to first, unsuccessful. Singleton's up now. It'll be Henry on deck, and then Goodrich and Folks. Top of the order due up for the Sentinels if we reach that point. Ball 2 just to the outside. 2-1 the count. Singleton set for the delivery. That ball squeezes directly past Snyder and easily allows Nelson to advance to second, now in scoring position. Three-1 the count. Delton Kramer trying to avoid a walk after his first strikeout that he secured on Ellis. Kramer resets on the mound. Check second, delivers. Gets Singleton to bite. So the full count pitch due up next. Great opportunity for the Miners to finally get out of an inning without allowing any runs, something they've been unsuccessful at 3 innings into this one. Looking to change their fortunes here. Kramer. Outside on the delivery, and Singleton heads to first via the walk. And they're going to have a pinch runner come on in place of Singleton. And taking Singleton's place is going to be Leo Bucusio.
The first baseman, number 24, Hodge Henry.
Hodge Henry now due up. Once again, Leo Bucusio. I apologize if I mispronounced that. The sophomore, situated at first. 2 outs now in the inning. 2 runners on base. Henry, last plate appearance, struck out before that. Crushed one into left field. That ball squeezes past, and it will allow both runners to advance. Even stronger scoring position for Nelson. And Leo makes it to second. 2-0 the count. As I mentioned, if we were to see a huge shot here from Henry, via home run or another form, to make this a 10-point game, and that wouldn't end it yet, but Bingham would have to score in the top of the 5th to keep the game alive. Henry bites on the pitch. First strike due to him. There is one pitcher actively warming up for the Miners, but I imagine they're going to continue to roll with Kramer at the moment. Although another inside delivery, he's in danger of loading the bases. Three-1 the count. The count now full. Henry chops one into foul territory. Now we're back up to full count. This could be a huge momentum swing in the game for either side. Sentinels in a great position to set themselves up nicely for the mercy rule. Miners Still trying to keep that glimmer of hope of a comeback alive. This one rocketed into right field, sailing in the air, and eventually collected by Schaefer. So 2 runners left on for the Sentinels. And now the Miners back on the offensive when we return. Stay with us on KSL Sports Rewind.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 3 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Nine to 2, the differential remains after our first scoreless inning from the Sentinels. Miners added 2 off that 2-run shot to still keep their hopes of the upset alive against arguably the hottest team in the 6A Baseball State Championship Tournament. Reminder, the winner of this game goes on to play Skyridge, the top seed in our tournament, at 7 o'clock tomorrow, while the loser will take on Pleasant Grove in an elimination game at 1:30. Top of the 5th, it's Boston Snyder, then the top of the order for the Miners. Singleton still on the mound, no one even warming up. This one ripped into right field, sails high, and easily collecting it is Henry. Second time today, Snyder's been retired in right field. And I'll bring up Dylan Frank for the 3rd time today. He struck out in his 2 previous plate appearances. Curveball gets away from Singleton that time. Inside delivery there, nearly collided with the leg of Frank. As I mentioned, we'll have 3 straight days of play for sure here at UCCU Ballpark. We could have no games on Thursday the 25th potentially. That depends on the outcome. If the teams from the winner's bracket are able to defeat the team that emerges from the loser's bracket in our final games on the 24th, then we will not have that final game on. Then we won't have those games on Thursday. But if we do have the loser defeat them, then we will have 1 game played on the 25th, as we'll be down to our final 4 teams by the time the 24th, the night comes around. A walk for Dylan Frank. I mentioned the weather's picked up a little bit here, wind whipping a little bit stronger in the outfield. Jake Wallen now due up. Wallen was the first to reach base in that previous inning, after his pop fly was misfielded by the Sentinels. He struck out prior to that. Two-0 the count as Singleton gets ahead. No delivery for ball 1 of the at-bat. And Wallen cracks one into center field, but easily going over and collecting it for the Sentinels is Reiser. Second fly out of the inning. And I'll bring up Maddox Peck. Last time we saw Peck, he was retired out in right field before striking out before that.
Number 4, Maddox Peck.
Peck looking to increase the lead. A reminder, if the Sentinels are able to add 3 runs on in the bottom of the 5th, that would be our mercy rule. If not, we will continue to play on. And our next game between Westlake and American Fork, scheduled at 4:30, will get underway approximately around 25 to 30 minutes at the conclusion of this contest, or just at the regular scheduled time of 4:30 if something crazy happens here shortly. One and one the count. Singleton delivers a pitch inside, taking the count to 2-1. Singleton was so sharp today, especially early on. That first inning started with 3 straight strikeouts. Thought we could be in the midst of another pitcher's duel like we had in our previous game. The 2 pitchers combining for over 20 strikeouts.
Spot.
3-1 the differential. Saw the Miners make some plays with 2 outs just an inning ago. They'll look to do so again here. And it's another walk. And I'll bring up Cam Beck. And like we said, the last time we saw Beck, he blasted a home run. Doing so here would make this a 5-run game. Beck did fly out in his first appearance to center field. But after that, as I mentioned, that big-time home run that gave the Miners some much-needed offensive momentum. Multiple pitchers currently warming up in the bullpen for them. So Frank to second. Peck over to first now. Oh, 1 the count. Singleton talking things over with Gunn to try to get on track and get this final out. Both American Fork and Westlake currently watching on. Our game's in bracket 2, scheduled for 4:30 and 7. This is our final game of bracket 1 for the day. Ball was trapped and knocked down for a moment by Gunn. 2-1 differential. Singleton trying to avoid another walk. We do see some action now for our American Fork. This pitcher's currently warming up. Singleton high on the delivery there. Ball's lifted into left field, giving chase, and unable to get under it as it took a bounce first was Goodrich, and Goodrich misplayed it. And because of the confusion and just kind of no one paying attention, just total chaos now as it allows another run to score. So Peck makes it all the way over to third, and Frank comes home. This could be it for Singleton. See the meeting on the mound take place. Although no call over has been made yet. 3-9 the differential. So the 6-run lead currently standing for the Sentinels. Singleton going to remain on the mound at the moment after allowing Beck to have the shallow hit in the left field and bring in his 3rd RBI of the day. And smart base running there by Beck to kind of realize that the Sentinels infield was not really monitoring his location.
The shortstop, number 9, Abraham Atencio.
Abraham Atencio now due up. Atencio, in the 2 previous plate appearances, put the ball in play both times, but was retired off a ground to third, and then a chopper that was fielded cleanly at third. Singleton, after struggling, has responded strongly in each of the previous innings so far. See if he can keep it going here. In fact, that one actually ends up colliding with Atencio. So it looks like this is going to be it for Singleton, as he struggled a little bit here in the top of the 5th, but a very strong day for him overall. So as Singleton heads in, we'll step away and then give you the new numbers on who's taking the mound for Mountain Ridge when we come back on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Grayson Riding coming in a difficult spot now with the bases loaded, but there are 2 outs. He's facing off against Talon Van Sickle, who has a hit in each of his previous plate appearances. First, driving a ground ball right up the middle, and then launching one in the left field the last time we saw him. Van Sickle was retired. He was caught stealing in that first plate appearance. He did reach base in both times. 3 runners on base here. It's Peck at third, Beck at second, and now Atencio at first. Grayson Riding, the sophomore, 6'1" pitcher, 180 pounds. Finds the strike zone on the first delivery. Van Sickle grounds it. It's fielded cleanly by Braxton Miller, who gets the force out at second. And the Miners lead 3 runners stranded on base. As Riding comes in and makes a play for his team to get them out of the inning and back on the offensive. When we come back, a 9-3 lead for Mountain Ridge.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Bauer Jacobs, the newest minor on the mound for Bingham in the bottom of the 5th. If Mountain Ridge was to score 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th, they would end the game off the 10-point advantage mercy rule after 5. But it's going to take another strong offensive output after they were held scoreless in that bottom of the 4th. Bauer Jacobs, the 5th pitcher of the day for Bingham, due up to face off against top of the order for the Sentinels, Austin Goodrich, Stockton Fausks, and Jackson Reiser. Goodrich grounds one, but it's fielded cleanly on a bounce by Van Sickle, who gets it over to first and retires Goodrich. Bring up Stockton Folks in a moment. As we mentioned, Bauer Jacobs on the mound, the freshman, right-hander, stands at 5'10", looking to stabilize things, but off to a good start after getting an initial out. Ball's chopped into foul territory. Folks lets the outside delivery pass. 2-1 the count with 1 out now. Folks, last time we saw him drove in 2 runs. Chops this one into foul territory. Folks in his previous plate appearance flew out to left field and walked in his first at bat. As mentioned, it's been a struggle for the minors pitchers today, as they've already turned to 5. This is the 5th different player now. It started with Bridger Slaves, then Austin Wheeler, then Ian Staley, then Delton Kramer in the previous inning, and now Bauer Jacobs. It's currently 2-2 in the count, and just got a strikeout. So Jacobs finding some momentum here. He's retired back-to-back batters. Jackson Reiser now due up. Reiser had that electric home run the last time we saw him. Before that, also launched one in the left field to bring in a run. He's reached base in each of his plate appearances after he was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Reiser wisely doesn't swing on the outside delivery. Reiser takes another hack, gets nothing. He's 1-1 in the count. Jacobs on the season not credited with a win or a loss. This ground ball just ends up in foul territory. Reiser resets. Prepares for the 1-2 pitch. Fouls it back. So the count remains at 1-2. Miners are going to be down to their last couple offensive opportunities here. They'll be down to their final 6 outs when they return to the bats, potentially momentarily, as the count goes to 2-2. Reiser avoids the high delivery. Bauer Jacobs, the freshman, looking to get his team out of it. Instead, this one's rocketed by Reiser into right field, going, and it's gone. Another home run for Jackson Reiser, his second of the day. It's the 4th run he's now driven in, and this ball, the first one, he's rocketed into right field. Jackson Reiser makes the 10-3 ball game. Reiser greeted by his teammates and the Mountain Ridge faithful. That would have been the dagger if it not for the Sentinels defense surrendering those 3 runs so far. But instead it's going to take 3 more runs with 2 outs if Mountain Ridge wants to get out of it. Easton Gunn now due up. Gunn flew out to center field the last time we saw him to end the bottom of the 5th. Excuse me, to end the bottom of the 4th. Make that the 3rd, actually, since we were coming off the home runs and we didn't have any runs scored in the bottom of the 4th. Two-oh the count. This one pops straight up in the air, and it's going to be unplayable. And then nearly collided with some fans.
We ask you, please return all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
Gunn, the catcher, currently 2-1 in the count. 2 outs in the inning. 10-3 the differential, and now 3 balls. Gunn with our gargantuan hit into center field, but it's unfortunately right to the center fielder, if you're a Miners fan, as it was collected by Maddox Peck. So Peck makes the grab, gets his team out of the inning, and we move into the 6th. 10-3 the differential. You're watching KSL Sports' coverage of the 6A Baseball State Championship.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Top of the sixth, beginning momentarily in this 10-3 game. 7 points, the differential. Gun flew out to center field, so now we turn it back over to the bats of the Bingham Miners. Be Bridger Slade, Blake Schaefer, and Boston Snyder. The back of the order all due up. Miners down to their final 6 outs if they want to extend this one. The Sentinels will have one more opportunity to bat. Our next game of the day between Westlake and American Fork, the matchup between our 15 and 7th seeded teams, is going to be slightly delayed because of the length of this one, but we'll keep you posted on that one. It should be due up 25 to 30 minutes at the conclusion of this contest. Outside delivery. 1-2 the count right now. Grayson riding is hit by Slade, who sends one right up the middle on a well-hit grounder for a base hit. We'll bring up Blake Schaefer in a moment.
The right fielder, number 6, Blake Schaefer.
Oh, 1 the count. This one smashed into right field, but directly to the right fielder, in Henry.
The catcher, number 15, Boston Snyder.
Don Singleton now on first. So 1 out. Off the fly ball. And then I'll bring up Boston Snyder after Schaefer flew out to right field. Snyder, the previous 2 times we've seen him, he's flown out to right field. Looking to avoid doing so here. Miners need to get some momentum going if they hope to trim into the 10-3 deficit they currently face, down to their final 5 outs. Delivery nearly squeezes too far away from Easton Gunn, but Gunn easily able to collect it and for Slade to stay situated on first. Pickoff attempt at first will be unsuccessful. And that'll do it on strike 3. So Snyder is retired. First strikeout we've seen so far for Grayson Riding. So Dylan Frank, the first batter for the Miners, to bat for a 4th time today. Struck out in his previous 2 plate appearances, also as a walk, and added into the mix. One the count. 1 runner on base, 2 outs now. After the K, Snyder. Wallen on deck. Delivery now 2-1. Frank crushes one. They'll take a bounce before reaching right field. Trying to go over third and going to be able to make it successfully off the dive is Slade. So Slade gets over to third in time as Frank makes it to first. Then we'll bring up Jake Wallen. So runner in scoring position now, trying to make this a 6-run game. But 2 outs, so Wallen's got to be careful. Struck out in his first plate appearance, then landed safely on first after the pop out was misplayed by the infield of the Sentinels. and then flew out to center field in his previous at-bat. 1-0 the count. The low delivery fielded cleanly. Three straight balls delivered now. No one warming up for the Sentinels. The game currently in the hands of Riding. Riding looking to find the zone. And is able to do so. Wallen fouls one back. Full count now after taking the strike and then the foul off. Wallen with a chance of driving some runs, trimming to the deficit. Riding looking to get his team out of it with a strikeout. It's chopped, fielded cleanly. The throw all the way over to first is successful by Braxton Miller. Miller gets it done for Mountain Ridge. Bottom of the sixth coming up. Sentinels one last opportunity to add on to their 10-3 differential on KSL Sports Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
The sixth pitcher of the day now on the mound for the Bingham Miners to try to quell the offense of the Sentinels. That'll be Dax Bradford. Coach Soto looks to get it done for his squad. Bradford, the freshman left-hander, stands 6 foot tall. It's set to face off against Luke Nelson, Remington Edwards, and Austin Ellis. All looking to capture some offensive momentum. Wind has died down, but still a little light factor. Nelson lets strike one through. Reminder of the winner of this game will go on to face Sky Ridge at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, while the loser will take on Pleasant Grove in an elimination game at 1:30. Our first elimination game will be played between the loser of our game between Westlake and American Fork at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and then the loser of the Riverton-Syracuse matchup at 7 o'clock tonight. This ball smoked into center field, sails high, and is eventually collected by Maddox Peck. So Nelson retired. Peck got the Sentinels out, Peck retired the Sentinels in the previous inning as he retired Gunn, who flew out to center field, and he's able to retire Nelson there. Edwards flew out to right field last time we saw him. Two-0 the count. Edwards directs it into the cement wall in foul territory. So count now at 2-1 with one out here in the bottom of the sixth. Edwards fouls it off his bat, tried to tuck it back in, but was unsuccessful in doing so. Brings the count to 2-2. Edwards takes a hack, gets nothing. The freshman in Bradford dialed in here. They're bringing Austin Ellis now. Ellis struck out the last time we saw him. Before that, launched one into left field, and before that had a walk in his first plate appearance. Looking to keep the inning alive for Mountain Ridge. 7-0 the differential. This ball cracked into center field, and easily collected after. So Ellis swings on the first pitch and flies it to Peck, who once again makes the grab. So that's going to do it for the bottom of the sixth. It's going to take a heck of a comeback by the Miners, but stick around to see if they got it in them on KSL Sports Rewind. 10-3 the differential. Maddox Peck, the leadoff hitter, to begin the seventh for the Miners. It'll be Peck, Beck, and Atencio all due up, trying to extend this game. Grayson riding, looking to close out what Dylan Singleton started. The count. Peck allows strike one through. Ahead in the count, 2-1. It's been a dynamic and dominant performance by the offense of Mountain Ridge and their defense too through the first 3 innings. This was a 9-0 ball game. Mountain Ridge scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the third, and then adding 2 in the bottom of the first and second, respectively. As Pex walks for the second straight at-bat over to first. I'm going to bring up Cam Beck, who runs a home run already. They also added 1 run in the bottom of the fifth, courtesy of a booming shot from Jackson Reiser, launching his second home run of the day. Beck, in his previous plate appearance, drove in a run with a well-hit ball into left field. And had the 2-run shot that also ended up in left field. And flew out to center field in his first plate appearance. 7 runs, what the Miners need in order to come back to this one. It's a tall task, but their offense has shown flashes here today. 0-2 the count as Riding's dialed back in. And Riding gets him to bite and retires Beck. Big time play by Grayson Riding. Dylan Singleton so strong early on, gave up some of those runs in the fourth and the fifth, and since they've turned to Riding, who's been really strong. Atencio now due up. Last time we saw him was hit by a pitch. Hit by a pitch that ended up loading up the bases, but then the huge play made as they forced Van Sickle to ground out to second. 0-1 the count here. Ball's fouled off by Atencio. Oh, 2 the count currently. Riding looking for another strikeout. Instead, it's a chopper fielded cleanly. Opportunity for a double play potentially for the Sentinels, and they're unable to make it, but they do retire Peck at second. So the Miners down to their final out now. In the top of the 7th. They're going to turn to a pinch hitter, it looks like. Pinch hitting for Bingham is going to be Bauer Williams. So Williams going to hit in place of Talon Van Sickle. Williams takes a hack, strike 1. The 5th seeded Sentinels are going to punch their ticket in the winner's bracket. One the count, 2 outs, 1 runner on first. A reminder for those of you tuning in, wondering where our game between Westlake and American Fork is, that will be due up 30 minutes after the conclusion of this contest. Riding finds a zone for another strike. 2-2 the count. Williams looking to protect home plate. Grayson Riding looking to ride out a victory here. Won't come on the high delivery. It'll bring us to full count. Riding the sophomore. Full count delivery. Riding. Rounds out an exceptional performance by the Sentinels. 10-3, they take it. The 5th seeded Mountain Ridge Sentinels defeat the 13th seeded Bingham Miners. 10-3. As we said earlier, the Sky Ridge Falcons now await the Mountain Ridge Sentinels in our game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And as for Bingham, they will take on Pleasant Grove in a matchup between the 8 and 13 seed in our second elimination game of the day due up at 1:30. A reminder, Westlake and American Fork, our matchup between the 15 and 7 seeded teams, will get underway at 4:30. But what a pitching performance from Dylan Singleton for most of the day. Grayson Riding came in to close it out. Also saw some exceptional hitting performances overall on the day, especially by Jackson Reiser. Reiser recapping his action, drove in 4 runs in total. He had 2 home runs overall. Folks drove in a run. Goodrich drove in 1. Nelson was brought in. Edwards also provided some plays on the ground rule double. Some multiple big-time hits for Mountain Ridge as they are moving on. The Sentinels get it done. The 10-3 win. They advance in our tournament. That will do it for us here, but stay with us 30 minutes. Our next game will be due up as we shift to Bracket 2 on KSL Sports Rewind.